And we're going to do, I'm going to hurry up because I got a lot to cover, guys. Like, cover a lot. 365 stories of the Bible. It is now nighttime. I don't know what time you're supposed to be in the bed, but I can read you a bedtime story until you fall asleep. Okay, so don't fight with your parents when it's time to go to bed. Remember, God is watching you, so be good. Okay, so don't wait for Christmas to be good. Be good every day, okay, for your mom and dad. So get ready for bed. Make sure you make your bed up in the morning. But as you can see, it's nighttime right now. Remember to go to bed at the same time every night. Okay? All right. So I was telling you about the naked truth. This is also called the naked truth. I didn't even realize that, and I had come back to it because my show is about telling kids the truth. It says it look weird, sip tastes amazing, sip hey 10 green turbo nutrition, sip still looks weird. And it has broccoli in here, spinach, kale, garlic, barley grass, wheatgrass, ginger, parsley, pineapple, mango, banana, and apple. It's all good inside. It looks strange, but it says shake well, and it's you see it's gone. So if you can't get your kids to eat vegetable, it's 100% juice smoothie, a blend of 5 juices with added ingredients, and there's no sugar added. So make sure you're asking your kids what they want to be when they grow up. And I wrote down when my teacher asked me what I wanted to be, I said a singer or a teacher. And believe me, I was a preschool teacher, and I worked with kids on the bus, mentally behavior children for about 10 years. And so been in Sunday school since I was 5, and baptized in Jesus' name at 5 years old, filled the Holy Ghost at 17. So I'm quite qualified. Maybe in the future, I will be able to get my own center. But this is the perfect bedtime or anytime illustration book. So we're going to go right into it. We're going to talk about Cain and Abel and how Cain killed his own brother. So remember, do not, if you're a brother and a sister, you tend to might fight, or a brother and a brother gets jealous of it, do not fight with your brother. That's how it starts, okay? Do not be jealous of your brother. So if your mom pours you a drink and then you're measuring cups to see, well, mom gave him more water than me. Kids do that. That's where jealousy started, and that's what happened to Cain when he killed his brother. He was so jealous of his brother. So do try not to fight with your siblings and then be nice to your friends. That's not how it works. Don't do that. Okay, it says, after a while, Adam and Eve had children, 2 sons. Cain was the older brother, and he worked in the field growing the food. Abel was the younger brother who looked after the flocks of sheep and goats. Okay, so that's the picture, and that is in Genesis 4 and 1 and 2. And if you don't have this book, you can also use the Bible to read to your children as well. After a while, Adam and Eve had children. So let's go faster because I know we have a lot to cover. Gifts for God. Cain and Abel wanted to give gifts to God to thank him for the good harvest and the newborn animals. Abel chose his best lamb. Cain gave some of the grain, and God was pleased with Abel's gift. But he saw what Cain was like inside. He knew Cain didn't really care about God. So God knew in Cain's heart there was something not there, because he looks at, he judge you in your heart. He judge you by your heart. Okay, so that's where the conscience fell and the jealousy started. Okay, this is the same thing, the same seed. I said it's the seed of Adam and Eve was a mistake, but I think the seed goes a little farther than that. Now Cain kills his brother, his own brother. So it's a shame when the big brothers are supposed to protect the little brothers, and the big brothers are fighting with the little brother and teasing and teasing and teasing. Now, brothers and sisters are going to tease, but when it gets to a point where the the brother is about to kill the other brother, and the parents are just got off work and they're trying to cook dinner and everything is chaotic. Your blood, you ever heard blood is thicker than water? Don't fight with your brother. Okay, Noah the good man. We're going into Noah's Ark. So don't fight with your brothers or your sister because it could lead to murder, and thou shalt not kill. Okay? And they do put teenagers in prison. So you might not want to do that. Okay. As time went on, God saw that the world had become a terrible place. People told lies and cheated. They killed each other. God was sorry that he had ever made people to be his friends. He decided to start over again. But it says start again. There was just one good man left. His name was Noah. So do not, you ever hear be a leader, don't be a follower. The child shall lead the way. Okay. So in school, if you see another kid fighting, don't watch and cheer on. Someone has to stand up and say, hey, let's break this fight up, because blessed are the peacemaker. Because you don't want God to be upset with you. Okay, so he ended the world. There was no one good left. Now that's what the world is doing now. We have adults that are sinning in front of the children, right, on television. And these kids is watching this. So the kids have no one to look up to. And these are the same kids that are going to rob and steal and kill your kids. Okay, so if you don't discipline your kids and teach your kids the naked truth, and they don't have to be naked, but if you don't teach your kids the truth, your same kids could wind up killing someone else. So when you're talking about me, what I'm doing, and I'm trying to save your kids, and so you don't have to deal with this, so you don't have to go to prison and see your children, God forbid that ever happens, and I'm blessing them. God told Noah that he would send a flood to destroy everything on earth. He wanted the Noah to build a huge boat and an ark so he could save his family and enough creatures to start a new world. The ark would be huge, longer than a football field and higher than a 3-story building. Similar to church. So it's a big boat, and he put all his animals on there, and animals are so obedient. Animals, most of them, if you, even when you train your animals, they grow up to be a better person. You're training your animals to be racist, or you change to be evil, or you fighting or punching the animal, and it's your spirit can cause that animal to be evil just by your spirit. If your animal is in a house full of people that are godly, your animal is going to be more godly. But if your animal is around people that don't like blacks, then that's what your animal is going to be. It's not going to like anybody. So kids, when you see animals in your house, don't tease the dog. Don't keep messing at the dog, because it can bite you, because you have to learn that too. Your parents cannot watch everything. You cannot depend on them to watch everything. Noah builds the ark. Okay? Noah was very old, but he listened to God and he trusted God. So on the money says, in God we trust. Well, we have to trust God. Okay? So if you look on TV, you see all these people fighting and getting sprayed with mace, and you're like, what is that? Because that's just the news, and your mom and dad are not there, and you're panicking. You have to remember you need to trust in God until your parents come home, because if you're a latchkey kid where you have to get the key and go inside the house by yourself, you have to learn that God goes in the house with you. So when people say, well, I do what I want behind closed doors, God still sees you. So make sure you trust in God. And because you miss your parents, you want your parents' attention. So you do all kind of bad stuff at school, bully kids because your parents are not around. But you are individual than your parents, and you know better. His neighbors probably thought he was crazy, but even his family thought he was crazy. But Noah saw and hammered and worked hard building the ark just as God had told him to, until one day it was ready. So remember, Noah was bullied and laughed at. So if you in school and you getting bullied and laughed at, They was calling Noah crazy, and they was laughing at him because he was building an ark and it never rained on earth. So they thought he was mental, and that's what they're gonna do with people that believe in God. And it's something that when you believe in God and when you go to school and you get to talking about God, your friends probably will be laughing at you. And they will call you crazy because they're like, I'm into rap and I'm into the bad cussing and I'm into this and that, and you're a duck and you're a nerd and you're a square, and that's what they were calling Noah. But he had to do what God said. Just like me, I'm a dope, and I don't really want to get on here and do this sometimes, but I have to do what God tells me to do, and I'm having fun with it. But 2 by 2, Genesis 7:2 and 5. God then asked Noah to find 2 of every kind of animal, a male and a female. Okay, so this is the truth. Okay, your kids, you teach them it's okay to be with the same sex. Well, they would not be here if the both of the parents were not male and female. And when the animals have to be a male and a female to produce a earth. Okay, so when your kids are little, make sure you know what they're playing with. If they are playing with dolls and you see them playing with dolls, they don't need to be playing with dolls. They need to play with the toys. I'm just saying, if you don't want your kids to grow up like that. And then if you're saying, I wish I had a girl, to your boy, you're installing to him that he should be a girl. And if you have all girls and one boy, please make sure that you're not treating that boy like a girl and like the rest of us. So you letting the girls go out and play basketball, and then you letting the boys stay home. Don't do that, because really it's not their fault when they grow up that way. It's not their fault because you did something. You told that girl, I wish you were a boy, and now she wants to be a boy. Okay, so don't get mad at the kids, because it's not their fault now. God then asked Noah to find 2 of every kind, a male and a female, and put them on